What's up, y'all? What's good? Welcome to the What Up Doe Show. It's your boy Dan D, and I am back with another one. We're going to be doing a little good, like a morning freestyle Friday. Today is Friday the 13th. I also have a guest that's going to be joining me, and I will allow her to introduce herself to the show.
What up, though? This Lori.
What up, though, Lori? I want to welcome. This is your first time on the show, and like I said, we're gonna do this morning segment, kind of like a freestyle Friday, like how we normally do it at nighttime, but just in the daytime. It's Friday the 13th. What's on your mind, Lori? So how your day been going thus far on this Friday the 13th?
It's been going pretty good. Shoot. About to get out here and go get the kids. It's a half a day today. That's the Friday the 13th I got going on. Get to
Right.
enjoy the
So picking up the
baby
kids.
for a half a day. No.
Okay. Well, again, I want to thank you for coming on the show, and to everybody, this is my cousin Lori. She's very funny, entertaining. So I brought her on the show. I've invited her siblings to come on to the show with me too. So, but we're just gonna chop it up, man. It's like I said, it's a morning version of Freestyle Friday. We just conversating, chopping it up. So the weather it's heating up a little bit out there, man. People is driving crazy, acting a fool already, like it's summertime. You know, what do you think about this climate heating up thus far? It's going to make for a great weekend. It's Valentine's Day weekend. So, do you have a sweetheart this weekend that you're going to be celebrating, or partaking in this Valentine's weekend festivities? I should say, Lord.
Don't even put me in that Valentine. No.
Why you say that? You ain't got no sweetie, nobody that you would call your
No.
Valentine's Day.
No, we ain't doing that. No.
Okay. Why you say that? And
No, I
first and
don't have
foremost, let me
anybody.
check and make sure that we can be heard on Facebook, because we're live on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. So let me check our volume. But why you say we ain't doing that? You ain't. I know it's some. You got a special someone that you call your Valentine's Day. Yeah, or
No,
it could
no.
just be the kids. Okay, I see that we are live. Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
There we go.
My
Oh
kids
yeah,
is
man. I'm not
Valentine.
doing too much, really, just relaxing, chilling out. I did not have to work today, so I'm starting my Friday the 13th off pretty good. So we got a comment in the comment section thus far. Who we got? We got Skeeter Man 218. What up, though, man? He said it's an all-star weekend. What you got cracking for this Valentine's Day weekend? And this Friday the 13th. We're gonna talk a little bit about that too. A lot of people say this is a superstitious day. A lot of, things may happen that may not be the norm on this day. So what are some of the craziest things that may have happened to you on Friday the 13th, Lori?
Well, it wasn't quite on the 13th, but some crazy stuff happened yesterday leading up to today. And
Okay,
I'm
okay.
I'm still kind of looking for this lady right quick.
Talk about it.
She she kind of like ran into the back of my car
Oh,
and
wow.
scraped it a little bit. And
Hmm.
at first, I didn't even feel like she tapped me or whatever. So that's why I kind of like let her go, but she stayed around the corner from me. So
You ain't get her information?
no,
Oh,
because
man, you
like I
supposed to be calling
said,
Top Dog Law. You supposed to be calling Top Dog, seeing what he can do for you.
yeah,
You may
because
have
they,
missed
they
out
they
on the
got it on the
opportunity.
police shit.
Well, you still can always call him. It ain't late.
Oh yeah.
So that's how you started your Friday, your day before the Friday the 13th off, huh?
Right.
Well, it's still early, man. So hopefully, I don't really have anything that we got East Skeezy getting ready to enter the stage. East Skeezy, what up, though? What's good with you, big dog?
Chilling, working on that OT.
Lori, it looked like your camera went out. she may have gotten a phone call or something. You say, yeah, what you say, man? Well, first and foremost, go ahead and introduce yourself to the show.
It's your boy E Skeezy. What up, though, with you? Y'all having a good Friday, hopefully. We don't worry about that 13th stuff. That's just another date. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, we're going to talk about it. Give us some of the things that may have happened to you on a Friday the 13th that may have not been, good or not good. So give your testimonies on a Friday the 13th. Even though, we don't participate, in these rituals, because really at the end of the day, it's just like Easky said, it's really, we just chopping it up, having fun today on this morning, on this Friday the 13th. But go ahead, Easky.
It's just stuff that, happened, and then you be like, dang, today, Friday the 13th. We try to blame it on that date, but it just happened like any other day. But on the 13th of Friday before, I done went to KFC and, go through the drive-through, finna get a family meal deal or whatever, and they gonna tell me they out of chicken. What you mean y'all ain't got no chicken? Y'all still open? I see y'all lights on. Why y'all got the lights on?
That sound like
got
that may be an April Fool's joke on you or something like that.
Yeah, they ain't got no chicken. I'm like, so y'all just selling sides, all sides. You could get mashed potatoes, macaroni, cheese, biscuits, coleslaw, fries, but you ain't getting no chicken. It's Friday the 13th.
Yeah, that was an April Fool's joke right there. For you to pull up and them not to have no chicken at a chicken joint.
Man, I had a dream and I knew it was gonna be Friday the 13th. In my dream, something happened to my hands when both my hands got cut off, but they saved them. They rushed me to the doctor and they had my hands in ice, and then they attached them back on.
What up, Q nigga?
They was working and everything. But the only thing about that, when I realized I had left the hospital and everything, and they sewed my left hand back on my right arm and my right hand on my left hand. Man, I couldn't tie my shoes. I couldn't zip nothing up. I couldn't button up.
And you said this was a dream, E Skeezy?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, but no, man, we just on here this morning chopping it up, just seeing how everybody's morning going on. I see Quincy Jackson is in the comment section. What up, though, Q Nitty?
What up, Q?
Comment and let us know what has happened strange to you on a Friday the 13th. A lot of people, believe this day is superstitious, I should say. I don't really believe in, days like that, and then we'll talk about this upcoming weekend. We got Valentine's Day going on. What do you got going on this weekend, for your Valentine's Day?
I don't know. I
should say. Okay, we see Lori is back.
The chocolate, the candy, flowers, but I'm going to just let it be her choice. I thought about doing mani-pedi, maybe hair, something like that. Something that's gonna last, because flowers be dying and chocolate get ate up fast. You feel me?
For sure.
Something I could see or look at. Get the old lady hair done, her nails and her toes, But
unmute yourself, Lori.
Yeah, Boogie, there she go.
You gotta unmute your mic, Lori. You muted yourself.
Yeah, I ain't want to try to hear that wind.
Okay. Yeah, there we go. But I don't really have anything planned this Valentine's Day weekend. I'm just gonna treat it like it's a normal day, probably go out, have dinner with the family, things like that, but for the most part, man, it's gonna be a normal day, and that's it. Just spend time with family. I'm off today. I don't have to work. So, I'm up early, talking with you guys on this Friday the 13th. So I just want to say what up, though, to everybody in the comment section. What up, though, Q-Dog? Go ahead, E-Skeezy.
Hey, I was just wondering, this hypothetical question. What would you do if, you gotta work tomorrow? Or you off?
I'm off tomorrow.
Okay, but what if you had to work and you went in to work and then some dude had you a box of chocolates and said Happy Valentine's Day? How would you respond to that?
I probably would feel some type of way, why are you giving me this, these box of chocolates, so yeah, I would probably feel uncomfortable, far as a man giving me some chocolates.
And then he had you some flowers. You feel me?
Yeah,
He trying to make
my
a
bad.
Diddy move.
No, no,
Right,
but
right.
both of y'all, both of y'all straight. That's just your man's though, He like, here goes some chocolate, homie. Happy Valentine's Day.
Right. I was gonna say I'm kind of agreeing with Laura. He might as well have the goddamn baby oil wrapped up in the basket too.
See me, I just be like,
Okay, we
I'm gonna
got
take it, I'm gonna accept it, and I'm like, cool. I ain't gotta give my old lady nothing.
Roy Marsh 1234. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit that subscription, that subscribe button coming in. He said, watching from the UK, working in London, from Alabama, still shocked over the shooting dead of that woman in Chicago with her baby, surviving the shooting in his baby seat. Send the troops in now. I haven't heard of that story. Have you guys heard about that? Let me go back
Oh
because
man,
Q
they
had
going
moved up
crazy. It
comment.
was a
Yeah, have you guys
shooting
heard about
in
a shooting in Chicago where the baby was shot in the baby seat? Roy Marsh, explain a little bit about that. If you want to come in, send me your email and I'll bring you in because I would love to hear a little bit more about that story. I have not heard anything about that story coming out of Chicago.
I
Yeah,
know
but
it was
have
one
any
that
of you
happened
guys
in
heard
Canada.
anything about that story?
Not Chicago. I know it was a shooting in Canada. A girl, they ain't say much about her. A brown dress with brown hair, and she did a shooting, a massive shooting, and that happened in
Yeah,
Canada.
no,
Now
he
they acting
said
like
this
America.
happened in Chicago with her baby surviving the shooting in its baby seat. He said, send the troops in now. Yeah, basically, they should have been sent the troops in Chicago. And I got a question for you guys. You know how they got these ICE agents out,
With the
fucking with the
National
Hispanics
Guard,
and the so-called immigrants and things like that. My
right?
question is, do you think that they they searching and looking for the wrong motherfuckers? I think they also should be searching these Arabs, and I'm just gonna be the motherfuckers that's been coming into the communities, raping the communities, therefore not doing anything to the community. The Mexicans and these immigrants, they have not done one thing, to us, in these communities. It's been these motherfuckers that's owning these stores and shooting and killing the citizens of the neighborhoods that they steal from. I'm not going to say steal from, but that they come in and take money from. So I think ICE need to be kind of going towards them too. Those are the people that's really robbing, and hurting the communities. You know what I mean? These stores, these liquor stores, and all this shit that you see in the communities. So but yeah, I would love to hear more about that story, Roy Marsh. But back to East Keezy. We were talking about what were you saying before? I read the comment, East Keezy.
It was a shooting in Canada where some girl.
Okay, yeah, I have not heard about that shooting in Canada, nor the one in Chicago.
I notice how these shootings are becoming rare, but a lot of this stuff has been taking place. We just not catching up to it with social media, but back in the day, like when we was coming up or in school, it wasn't no TikTok, no Instagram. We was just introduced to MySpace and stuff like that, but I know of a lot of school shootings
Yeah,
that
Q, I'm
took
a
place.
journalist. I
People
do a little
getting
bit of that
shot
too,
at
baby.
school.
That's what we do over here. Go ahead, East
Oh
Keezy.
yeah, but thanks to TikTok, Facebook, and FaceTime, we get to see and hear a lot more than we used to hear. But there ain't nothing new up under the sun. I hate that it's happening. My condolences to anybody who lost somebody in a school shooting or a massive shooting. It's crazy, but this been going on. It's a spirit of murder that's been here since the beginning of time. Since before Christ. That's how he got killed. You feel me?
Yeah. But yeah, I definitely would want to. I'm definitely going to look into that story about the baby in Chicago. But Lori, what's going on? You're kind of quiet over there. Look like you don't jump in the car. You on the road?
Yeah.
Okay.
Picking up the daughter.
Okay. So what you say you doing on this Valentine's Day? You say you just chilling out with the family, with the kids. No particular, uh, uh, Valentine's Day person.
Yeah, you still gonna emphasize I ain't doing shit. Got
No,
nobody high.
I'm just jumping back and forth between the conversations. Between Friday the 13th, this Valentine's Day weekend. And I want to wish everybody a happy Valentine's Day weekend. You may be celebrating with your significant other, your Valentine's Day, or or yourself. You know what I mean? So there's nothing wrong
Right.
with, hey, buying yourself some chocolates and things like that, that that you like, that you don't have to worry about nobody else getting it or disappointing you on that day. But
I
every
will.
day should be like Valentine's Day, in my opinion. It should not be celebrated on one day. We should not allow, people to, tell us what day that we should have to, you know, um spend our money or do these Valentine's Day rituals, on this day. You know what I mean? So, but at the end of the day, it's just for me, it's just going to be a normal day, that I'm going to have with the family.
Yeah, it's normal now that we done slowed down, but I remember, boy, back in the day, Valentine's Day was expensive.
It
Boy, I'm
was,
trying
man.
to
I
tell you,
remember spending all my
that's
money
all I'm gonna
being broke and
say.
upset, spending my money on
Yeah,
girlfriends and, not reciprocating the same thing back.
you heard that S, didn't you, girlfriends?
Yeah,
You had to buy like 5 people something. You remember that
uh,
throwback Valentine's Day candy where they had the little writings on it, I love you and be mine. I would like to make my own Valentine's Day candy. And some of it'll be different writings on there. They'll be like, fuck you.
right.
You
And I
ain't
and I
shit.
remember them days being in school, you might have had your little girl you may had your crush on and you're writing the cards. And I remember all those days. Those days you know, um were special, like growing up, as a child, I should say. So we all have those days that we can remember that we may have liked someone, and it was Valentine's Day, and you may have wrote in the car or had a girlfriend or something like that, and just did something special. So, I understand what the day is about. It's about showing love to, that person that you may love. So at the end of the day, I understand. There's nothing wrong with, people going out enjoying this day. It's a day.
It's a
It was
lot
meant
different.
for one thing, but I understand what it's meant for too. For
It's a
the other
lot
thing, I should say.
different.
Go
You
ahead, Lee
you
Skeevy.
know you know the proper way to celebrate Valentine's Day. You remember you used to have to ask people, "Would you be my Valentine's?" You know what I mean? So I had
Right.
somebody to do something special for. Nowadays they just walk up to you like, "Here, you my Valentine."
Right.
I ain't asked to be your Valentine's.
Q Nitty said I used to buy a teddy bear and candy and everything. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, flowers. No. Flowers die.
Yeah.
I feel
See,
like
in
fake flowers
this
should be
day,
more expensive.
I guess Valentine's Day is for the women, but on Sweetie's Day, it seems like they really don't reciprocate, how men do on Valentine's Day. Do women give gifts on this day, Laura? Or is it just for the men to give gifts, to the women?
I believe it's however you feeling about somebody. It's a special day to just acknowledge the fact that you see them or you feel a certain kind of way about them. So,
Okay.
Yeah,
so
on
if I
Sweetie's
don't,
Day,
no, I ain't giving nothing. No.
Yeah, because on Sweetie's Day, I ain't getting nothing this
uh,
past
you
Sweetie's Day.
you 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 might get some loving and a meal. That's something they supposed to do every day.
Right.
They take the cheat way out. They give you some booty, might give you a massage, and they cook. Like, what you want to eat tonight? They cook the meal of your choice, but they don't spend no money on you. No, I want a new chain, a
Now, why is
ring,
that,
or
Laura?
something
See
for
that, and that's why
Sweetie's
I'm
Day.
glad I got you on the show. Why is that, Laura? We'll go out and spend, hundreds, sometimes thousands of dollars, and a woman, only thing she feel like she got to give is some cat.
Because leading up the day, leading, that don't mean that y'all was doing everything right up into this day. So it just hit different, and everybody different. So me personally, if I know you ain't been doing that the whole freaking month for me at all, and I know I've been busting my ass to show that I feel a certain kind of way about you, and it ain't being reciprocated, then that's you gonna get the same response. When it's something
Right.
special, want to acknowledge something, that's why you don't get the same as you get, because
And
And
people.
you
then it's
just
kind
don't
of
know how
weird to
many
me
broke
that
people.
say that again,
You don't
Skeezy.
know how many. You just don't know how many broke people have broke up with their girlfriends on today.
Yeah. Or broke up before today. Yeah, like today. And it's kind of weird to me that Valentine's Day would fall the day before Friday the 13th. Don't that seem kind of weird?
Yeah.
Hey, they don't care as long as it fell fall.
But they gonna get back together on Sunday.
Right.
Just
Yeah,
gotta make.
it definitely probably gonna be a lot of breakups. And
And
as young adults or kids, if you didn't have money, that's probably what the man would do: break up with the girl to get out of buying her gifts on tomorrow.
I know a lot of guys
Hey, we got
that.
to be more original though.
What?
What you say, Lori?
I say I know a lot of guys that will do something the day before, like, I don't like the way you did this, just so they can get out of buying some shit. And I spot that from a mile away. I help you out. I do it the week before. How about that?
Yeah.
You ain't got to
Right,
break
there you
up with
go.
sure,
Yeah.
folks. I know what time it is.
Yeah.
You see this
So I
from
guess so you got to prepare yourself, for days like this, man. Because Valentine's Day can be very expensive, especially if you don't really have the money to do it. So you got to kind of prepare yourselves, because like I said, women be wanting the world on days like this. So Quincy Jackson said Valentine's Day, Friday the 13th, kill all the blank. I won't say what he said. He said, but those days were priceless, buying the cars and the candies and things like that. Yeah.
mm, mm.
Okay,
Hey,
E Skeezy is back in the building. E
I'm
Skeezy, I see
I'm
you.
in and out. I'm at work, but yo, we gotta be more original. I heard you say earlier how we go out and spend thousands of dollars on the women. You know, I feel like we gotta be more original. Something come from the heart. So this year, what I'm gonna do, I challenge y'all, some of y'all men, to do the same thing. You know, go to the arts and crafts place and get some arts and craft paper, come home and glue some macaroni in a heart shape. You know what I mean? Uh, get a little sweet tarts. And that'll cost you about $5. You get all this stuff, and then y'all have a good Valentine's Day. A little box of chocolate. Get her a pack of Rolos or something, or
Now,
Snickers. You know,
you want my version of that? You want my response to that as a woman?
Well, how you think she gonna reciprocate back to you later on that night, E Skeezy?
hey, that's from the
Boy,
heart though. Hey, how come the kids could do it for Father's Day and we
hey,
gotta reciprocate it? I don't want
hey,
this shit.
my big kid, my big kid. That ain't gonna work. That ain't even gonna get you nothing. That ain't even
No,
gonna
Right.
get you.
it's supposed to be the thought that count.
Yeah, that's why she gonna
She
think
say,
about.
and then she gonna be like, "That's what you gonna be eating later on for dinner, niggas. That macaroni
Yeah,
tied up
take
to that
take
string."
it off that paper and boil it.
Right. Yeah.
Ah, shit.
But this
Well,
this day is this day. I'm not gonna say it means the world to women, but they expect. Well, tomorrow, they're gonna expect the roses, the candy, and the gift that comes with Valentine's Day. But like I said, a lot of those same women don't reciprocate that day on Sweetie's Day. In the
I'm
same way.
gonna say this. If you really want to show your appreciation to your significant other or just somebody that you messing with that you like a hell of a lot, just do that every day. Don't wait for a special day because then it's like it's not you. It's because it's that day. Do your
Right.
thing every day to make sure that they know that you appreciate them, love them, and all of that other stuff. Don't wait
Man,
to a special day to show your appreciation.
man, man, man,
That's
man,
what
Right.
man.
And I agree. And I agree with you 100%, Lori. It should be shown, all through the year versus this one particular day. That
But
everybody's doing the
if
same
that
thing.
happened
So
though, if that happened, then they wouldn't treat that day as special. It'd become the norm. So
right.
you got to pick a day, just like your birthday. If your birthday was every day, people would be broke. You'll be having hangovers every day. So you got to take one day out the year to celebrate something to make it so special. That's why anniversaries only come once a year. But I feel you. Treat that person like it's Valentine's Day every day. But
There you
you
go.
ain't finna buy them chocolate and flowers every day. You feel me? So when they
they
get
eat
them
that.
that chocolate and flowers, they feel a
You,
little more
yeah, they'll feel
special
special.
on that
I get
day,
what you're saying.
you
Yep.
know. But
Okay, we got
I
another
feel
comment.
like
Go ahead, Lori.
fake flowers
Hey,
should cost more than real flowers because they last longer.
8 Mile
So don't be
313
mad if
said, "What
I
up, though? What
buy
up,
you
though?
some plastic
LB
flowers.
Londale Bright in the house. Remember
What
I
Londale
up, Londell?
Manuel?
Yeah, baseball, Londell.
Yes, sir. Baseball, football. Yeah. But go
I
ahead,
just
Lori. Say what you were getting ready to say. So, LB, how are you spending your Friday the 13th? And then the next day, Valentine's Day. Are you doing the flower, the roses, the candy, and all that? The Valentine's Day ritual thing. But go ahead, Laura. You were saying something before I started reading the comments.
I was just gonna say I just learned that you're not even supposed to celebrate your birthday every year. That's what made
Yeah, we
me
talked about that.
so
That's
yeah,
supposedly a ritual too. But
yeah.
we know these days, these so-called holidays are just days to get the public to go out, and spend money. I'm not going to say unnecessary money, but it's just to generate money for these businesses out here. On these
Mhm.
days like that.
Hey, where y'all find that out that you ain't supposed to celebrate a birthday every year?
It was she probably saw the same thing that I saw. Something came through my feed that I watched, and they were kind of talking about the whole birthday celebration with the hats and the cones, and what it's kind of like a witchcraft type thing. You would have to watch it to understand what we're talking about. But yeah, and it kind of goes like with all these holidays, that we celebrate.
Yeah, because I'll be
Mhm.
turning 50 and I'll be damned if I don't get celebrated this year. You feel me? But I'm going to stop celebrating everybody else's.
Yeah.
I ain't getting
No.
nobody
Okay.
else nothing for their
8Ball313 said at work and making my daughter a basket. Okay.
Hey,
He said,
bro.
"What up, though, E?" That's what's up. That's what's up.
What up, though, Londell? But yeah, that's original and from the heart. You see, when somebody take their time to make you something, you should appreciate it more than them just running out grabbing something that they think you're gonna like. They took time to make it. That's why we accept it from the kids to know that they had their teachers help them and they designed something. Even though it's a little macaroni on the paper, see, the same way we feel like, oh, that's how a woman should feel if you get them a macaroni card. Like, oh, but they so caught up in the ritual, like you say, they like this all, and they in comparison with others. What your man get you? Oh, my man got me a necklace, a tennis bracelet, a manicure, pedicure, and then what your man get you? He got me a macaroni card, and and that's it.
Yeah, and you know, and that mark and like you said, that same macaroni card was made with pride and joy, and he put his effort into that. You know,
Yeah,
and they'll shame
exactly.
that same man that did that. You know, but we got a few people
Right.
watching. I need you guys to make sure that you're hitting that subscribe button while you're coming in, and also make sure that you're liking and you're sharing. You know, but you know, we're talking about Friday the 13th, the you know, the day itself, you know, what has happened to you, whether good or bad on this day. And we're also talking about Valentine's Day. You know, it's a coincidence that, you know, the 2 days are
Back to
back to
back.
back, you know. So we're just talking about, you know, things that that men go through on Valentine's Day. You know, because really it's a day that men are out spending, like I said, hundreds, sometimes even thousands of dollars. You know what I mean? So go ahead,
Va-
you finish saying what you were saying.
Valentine's Day to a man is like getting your electric bill in red, pretty much. When it's past due, you know, to us
You know, and it
it's starting
is,
to seem more like a
listen,
bill.
all the malls are gonna be full, you know, the diamond stores are gonna be making a lot of money. Um, you know, the flower stores are gonna make a lot of money tomorrow. So it's gonna generate a lot of money for these businesses, you know, that
Yeah,
don't show
and
us, you know, no love throughout the year.
Hey,
it's
hey,
somebody
E.
that's gonna go out their way, spend a lot of money on Valentine's Day, and then they gonna break up Monday. That's crazy. Nah,
Yeah,
you
no,
ain't
that's
gonna
a
be able to
fact.
get that back. You know, what was you finna
Okay, we
Hey,
say,
got
E.
another comment. 8 Mile
Corey?
313 said all these holidays is to just generate money. You know, that's all shaking my head. And I agree 100%, you know, and that's what we're talking about now. You know, to me, you know, it's a day where, you know, it's where everyone goes out and spend money and generate money, you know, through these holidays. Roy Mars said the woman shot dead in her car in Chicago was 26-year-old Gabriel Janaya Eris. If I don't want to tear up her last name, but car shot 100 times, ambushed by 3 shooters. Just horrific. Yeah, I'm gonna look into that and I'm gonna talk about that probably later on tonight on Freestyle Friday when we do it tonight. But thanks for letting me know about that, Roy. Excuse me, I need something to drink. But yeah, you know, that's horrible. You know, and for that to happen on, and you said that happened yesterday.
That's crazy. 100 times. That
Yeah, you
wasn't
know,
an
that's
ice,
crazy. They
was it?
definitely need to send the troops in to Chicago. Send them same ICE motherfuckers out there.
I was just talking to my coworker earlier, but we living in the era and the time right now where you have to believe none of what you
He
hear
said
and
the
half of
video is
what you
on
see.
X. Okay, I'm gonna check it out. Go ahead, Eski. Say that again.
You gotta believe none of what you hear and half of what you see, because with this AI, they can make a video seem so real, and before you check your facts, you be done spread it and then told everybody this such and such thing happened, such and such got shot, when it was really an AI video. I seen a video where a guy fell from a balcony, he broke the rail and fell on the table in a barbecue grill,
Yeah, on the
and you would
barbecue
think,
grill. Yeah,
oh
I saw
man,
that
but
same
that's
video. I thought
AI.
that shit. I said that
So
nigga
if
should have
they
been
can make
burnt.
that,
Had
yeah,
first degree burns on his head, and he should have broke his damn neck.
right. So they can make
You know,
fake
but they don't get
ice
out of control
videos and
with that.
everything.
And 8 Mile 313 said that happened around a week and a half ago. Yeah, I'm definitely going to check into that story. You know, because that's a shame. You know that a mother with her child and the car got shot up while the baby was in the car over 100 times. You know, them YNs in
What led this
Chicago, man. I
on?
don't know what's going on. It's definitely out of control. They definitely needs to something definitely needs to be done. You know, the citizens of, you know, of Chicago are being overran by these so-called thugs, I should say. You know, because none of them are not doing anything to uplift the community. They're destroying it, they're tearing it down. You know, so something definitely needs to happen. You know, but Easkeezy, go ahead and say what you were saying before I start reading the comments.
I mean, it's a lot going on, and you really don't know what to believe right about now, because they even got fake singers, and you would try to Google this singer and go see him in concert, and there was an AI person singing a song. AI wrote the song. They can make AI videos that make it look like something blowing up, and they control the narrative. They got the news
Right.
channels, and especially if you see it on the news, you gonna believe
I
it,
think
and you gonna
I
spread it.
think going forward, they need to make every video that's an AI or anything that has to do with AI, it needs to be stated right up front, like this is
Yeah,
AI.
tag.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. Right. Because you be done spreading some news that was fake, and now everybody believe in the news, and then when they find out it was fake, they gonna think you fake, but you just spreading
Yeah, that's
fake
why you got to
news.
go and,
Check your
kind
facts.
of, especially if it's something involving, what the story that the young man was talking about with the kids. You got to kind of go and do your research before you actually start talking about things, especially now with this AI skeezy. So I agree with you 100%. You have to do your own research first before you go by word of mouth of someone else, because then you will
And
be looking like a fool.
Yeah, it's touchy because they got some useful AI tools out here, that help you, and it's really great. But when you got one bad apple, it spoiled a whole bunch, they say. Like they got this AI, you could type in the words, you could put your old lady name in it and everything, and it's a personal song to her. It's gonna say her name and
Yeah,
talk
I saw
about
that all over
real life
the
events that
social
y'all
media.
been through. Yeah, now that's good. That's awesome. But stuff
Right.
like getting a phone call from your mom and she deceased, and seeing her talking and stuff like she's still here, moving, take a picture of her where she was still and now she's smiling. That stuff is
And moving around,
that's
yeah.
on
How you feel about
borderline. That's
those
freaky.
AIs?
I don't like it. To
Okay.
some people it's gonna be touch and go, but you just dealt with that. You had to process that, not to regurgitate it and put it in my face again like that person's still here. You starting backwards. You starting all over from that battle you had
Yeah,
when it first
and
happened.
listen, and I'm glad you brought that up, B Skeezy. That's a great conversation. How do you guys feel about that? What do you think about these AI pictures that you can take, with a loved one that may be deceased, and you can take this picture and you can put a picture of you in it, and you can almost like get like a hug, because I saw those videos. Some of the videos are heart touching. You got grown men crying. You know what I mean, and
Yeah.
things like that. So to some people, it's a good thing. To some people, it may not be, but 8 Mile 313 said, imagine 10 years from now, AI will be undetectable. Yeah, that's why I say every video or every one of those AI things should say on the video that this is an AI video, because you have old folks thinking, a lot of this shit is real.
Yeah, if they make you put the ingredients on the back of the food for allergic reactions, they should tag the videos the same way, because I have allergic reactions to fake videos.
Right. Yeah, I agree. They should, because like I said, it's going to be a lot of people that may call the police, or it may be it may cause, for panic for someone to see, some of this shit, and an old person may have a heart attack or anything, So yeah, it definitely needs to be a law against them being able to put,
Like,
dramatic AI out, of someone getting hurt, someone getting killed, or something like that. It should be fun and games, not, having someone thinking that this shit is actually real.
exactly how they do the movies and let you know that they rated R
Because
or
what's going to stop
PG. They should have AI
yeah,
videos
because
that
what's going
say
to
rated
stop what's
AI.
going to stop and then my question is, have the police even used AI to to frame people or to make a scene or something like that look like what it's not?
Right,
You know what I mean? So
right.
you have to go back and question yourself. How have they been using AI, on cases to prove, motherfuckers that's actually been innocent to make them look guilty? So you have to ask your question. How long has this AI been going on? How long has they been using it? Has it been used illegally? And things like that. So it's a lot of questions that, that needs to be asked, and that's a good conversation too.
Yeah, they sure can frame you, make it look like you did
Yes.
something you ain't do, but they should have that
Yeah.
tag on there. Warning, before you watch this video, this is AI, and then you
Exactly.
can watch it
Yeah.
and
Give me
then
your
you can
opinion on that,
maybe enjoy the
Lori. What do you think
video.
about this whole AI thing? Do you think that the people should be informed on what video that they're watching, that it's an AI video and it's not real? Or do you
Most
think go ahead.
most definitely it should be announced because you can't have a person. It's a moment of confusion right now. That's all this is, a distraction for everybody to be confused about certain things that's going on that the government is actually doing. This is all just to throw you off course and not pay attention to what's really happening.
I'm
Okay, now
gonna
8
tell
Mile
the dangers
313
in that.
said, 8 Mile 313 said, my mom passed away and my son just made me a picture with me and my mom, and it was cool. And it was pretty cool, and that's awesome. So, I think in ways like that, those are, ways that, it can be used as a good way. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I want to give my condolences, 8 Mile 313. I did not know your mom had passed away. She was a great woman. I remember her at all your events. Yeah, but yeah, man, so in situations like that, I think that's a good way of using that, and I think it should only be used in ways like that, not
Yeah,
to
because
incriminate or not to harm anyone or make
it's like
anyone think
a
they're
big
going to be
April
harmed or anything
Fools.
like that.
That's like the world's
Huh?
biggest April Fool's joke right there. To think a video
Yeah,
is real and then find out it's AI. And see what that's gonna do
right.
is have people crying wolf because now you're gonna see videos that you think is real and it's gonna be fake. Then you're gonna see fake videos. You're gonna see real videos and you're gonna think it's fake, but it's real. And now we ain't gonna know what to believe.
Exactly.
And you
That's
know the words say a double-minded man is
Right.
unstable in all his ways. So it's trying to lead us to instability, in our thinking, instability in what we watch, and to not care. Yeah, because you ain't gonna. I've been stopped watching the news a long time ago. So it's a time coming where they can make it look like it's a war, and it ain't even got to be no war. But they could blow stuff up on TV, just like in the movies, and we think they really at war. Wars and
Yeah,
rumors
that's
of
why,
wars.
a lot of people have stopped watching the news, because the news has been used, to propagate a lot of things that are not in our interest, so and it's controlled by a certain group too. So, you have to and I'm thankful for social media, because a lot of the news that we watch, that we get from social media, sometimes be more reputable than the news that we see on our actual TV. But I got a few comments that I'm going to read off now. Give me 1 second. You got 8 Mile 313 said, all right, yeah, I got to go back to work. All right, man. Thanks for your comments. You have a good day. 8 Mile 313. Quincy Jackson also said, you guys ever seen the father of AI interview on 60 Minutes? I have not.
Oh,
Have you guys seen that?
the creator of AI.
Yeah, the
Oh,
creator. Mm-hmm.
okay. No, I ain't seen that.
And I got one
But
more
I
comment.
bet you he
Roy Marsh
paid.
said, I have been working in the UK for 18 months. I cannot wait to get back to the US. When my contract ends, President Trump is getting America back on its feet. I love what he's doing. You got a lot of people that probably will disagree with you on that one, Roy. He's keeping a lot of people working in the auto industry. I will say that for sure. But it's a lot of people that's upset with how this whole ICE situation thing is going. And that's another conversation. But this whole AI thing, man, I agree. It can be used it can be used in good situations where, with the pictures for loved ones that may not be here, it can be sentimental, and it can be used in situations where it can be used for bad things, so I agree, on what you're talking about, East Keezy. It needs to be some type of labeling up front, or some type of letting people know that this is an AI, that you're watching. It's not real, and things like that, so people won't get confused with AI and the realness. Quincy Jackson said yes. Yep. So
Once we
look,
lose our
man,
belief, we lost everything.
Yeah, I agree. So you just gotta, you gotta be mindful now. We're living in an age where, technology is at its finest. We can be fooled by certain things that we watch, and it can be a good thing and it can be a bad thing. But I just want to come
Right.
on this morning and chop it up with you guys this Friday the 13th. Quincy Jackson just made another comment. He said, do you guys know the AI thinks on its own and we have no control of it? Well, it's everything. These AIs are coming from these think boxes that these millionaires
The
have
algorithm.
built and put
Right.
throughout the country.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, man, that's definitely going to be another conversation that we definitely need to have. About this AI. It's fooling a lot of people. It's a good thing to have. And it also can be a bad thing, and it can be a hurtful thing.
I'm gonna
But
start using
I want to
AI.
wish everybody a happy Friday the 13th. We're definitely going to be doing Freestyle Friday tonight. E Skeezy, are you going to be available tonight with us on Freestyle Friday?
Your boy liable to be available tonight. It's Freestyle Friday,
Okay.
so I'm gonna be occupied tomorrow. But I was just saying, I'm gonna start using AI.
You breaking
If
up, E
anybody
Skeezy.
ever, anybody ever see a video of me doing something wrong or breaking in a house or shooting somebody, that wasn't me. It was AI.
Right. Okay. Well, one of y'all is
You catch
breaking
me
up
in the
real
corner.
And
fast.
when my attorney when my attorney bring me motion of discovery, I'ma tell y'all, no, that ain't me. That was AI.
Right.
Now that's why
Yeah.
Shaggy was saying it wasn't me. It
Yeah,
wasn't
this
me.
AI is a
That was
motherfucker,
AI. He
man.
was trying to
It
tell
has
y'all.
it don't have me fooled, about a lot of things I saw, like with the guy who fell off the damn balcony and hit his damn head on
Hmm.
the barbecue grill. I'm like, this nigga neck should be broke, should have first degree burns
Man,
all over
I
himself.
saw
But
this. I saw this guy power drive another dude on the concrete. I was like,
yeah.
oh my God, he going to jail. You know,
Hmm.
he going to
Yeah.
jail. You done
I
murdered
remember
that
that
boy. You
one.
done
So now,
bashed his
so
skull
yeah, it's a
in.
lot. Uh, it's a lot of things that we're being fooled about with this AI. Like I said, I think the government should have every AI should come with a marking or a voice saying that this is AI generated. To
Right.
let people know that this is not actual real life. So
Matter of
look,
fact,
East.
we gonna start we gonna start a petition. I need y'all to like, comment, subscribe, and leave a comment. Should AI videos be tagged or no?
Yeah, there
Comment
we
at the
go.
bottom.
That's
Let us
what
know.
we're looking for. Should they be tagged as AI or not? So yeah, E Skeezy, give everybody your last words, man. Let everybody know what you got going on and where they can reach you.
They can reach me on the What Up Though Show, E Fortune on Facebook. And my final words is whatever you do on Valentine's Day, make sure it's something you can maintain throughout the rest of the year. Don't just do it for one day. Like L Boogie was saying, if they special in your life, they should have felt special before Valentine's Day, even more on that day, But to treat somebody special on one day out of the year is preposterous. So take to heart what somebody give you, appreciate it, even if it's not what you wanted or expected. Appreciate it if it came from the heart. Fake flowers is just as good as real flowers. Actually, they better to me because they last longer. And you can look at them all year round and be like, I bought you that on Valentine's Day. I remember. But that rose that we pay $60 for a dozen or something like that, they gonna be dead in 2 weeks. Where them roses that you bought last Valentine's Day? In the trash.
Yeah. Look, I couldn't have said it no better, man. So I don't have anything else to add on that. I want to come in and wish everybody a happy Friday. We know it's Friday the 13th. A lot of people think that that comes with negativity. But it doesn't have to. We can make it come with positivity. It's just another day. That's been labeled Friday the 13th. So let's have a good day. It's Freestyle Friday. We're definitely going to have a good conversation tonight. leading up into tomorrow's Valentine's Day, and I'm with E-Skis, make, Valentine's Day every day. Don't just make it one day out the year, let that person that, that you're calling your Valentine's know that you love them every day of the year. And that's what it's about, man. It's just about, letting that significant one that you're involved with, letting them know how you feel and how you love them. That's what I look at it about. It's about, just it's a day of love. So Skeeter Man 218 said he put the strong arms up. He said, good show. Thank you, man. Listen, you still ain't sent me that email so I can bring you in, man. I would love to chop it up with you. But look, man, I'm not going to hold you guys up long. I just want to come in and just wish everybody a happy Friday the 13th. Y'all be easy out there. Take your time. You already got people driving crazy, meaning that the weather has heated up. So Detroit, y'all be easy. Ohio, y'all be cool, man. Don't be out here driving. Y'all have a good weekend. Spend time with your loved ones, those who love you. That's what tomorrow is about, and you don't have to go and spend a $1 million to show that person that you love them. It's about time,
Right.
and showing them that, through, not through monetary games, and just showing them, with your actions, I should say. So look, I don't have anything else to add. I want to thank Lori for coming on the show. Skeezy, he's the co-host. He's always on the show. He just been MIA, but hopefully he'll be back on the show with us tonight. And everybody else who made comments, make sure that you guys are hitting that subscribe button. It helps the channel grow. It helps the show grow. It's another one. It's your boy, Dame D, and I am out.
And your boy,
Peace.
Easy. Holla.
Yes, sir.